Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, guys?
Yo,
Much. Just had a nice breakfast.
sounds lovely.
My streaming Heroes of the Mist. That's new.
Oh, is it? Does it tell you that it's streaming?
Yeah.
That's
I swear this thing is soon going to be like, oh, they're currently browsing this website.
what do you mean? Like on Roll20 or what's?
On, what's the name? Discord, it says,
Oh,
Red Anchorite is streaming Heroes of the Mist.
oh, look at that.
And now I got to go let my cat in that I just let out.
Meow.
He's trying to find that spot where it's warm enough.
It's Australia.
I can't
It's
find
always
it.
warm.
It's actually been nice the last couple of days. It's like, it's not above 30 degrees. Well, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. Like
A lot,
90,
I hear.
Hello.
100. I think 100 is 40 degrees.
Hey, Desiree.
Hello.
I have got to figure out how to turn off the ability for you guys to mess up my map.
Are we doing Mistfires?
Yep.
Sorry,
So
that
what
took
do you
me
have
a
to figure
while.
out?
I was getting my dinner.
Okay.
You took a whole 2 minutes longer.
I know I'm
Really?
slow as hell.
So just the cat's gone back to the door and he's sitting there looking at it like, won't let me out again?
Tell him to make up his goddamn mind.
I think he's decided to go in the studies. Also, I just noticed that someone's written something on the map. Well done.
Oh, finally. Somebody noticed.
And did that get put on the map?
I wrote a few things on the map.
Thought for a second I saw something called Africa, but no, it's Arica.
Arisha.
No, that was normally here on it. There's a couple that I put in.
I can't find them. I can only see the one.
There's one one above Coinsby or whatever it's called in the middle map.
I'm gonna murder my cat. Be right back.
You people are the worst.
It's like there's only one there. I think you found the others and deleted them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Damn it.
So, wow at that. Trying to pronounce that.
Oh, you deleted it!
I did delete it.
Fuck you!
It's my game.
I was gonna say, do you actually know how to pronounce it? Kais Vrisky?
The X is silent.
I don't know. Ah,
Kai Vrisic.
Where are we looking?
It's up here. It's kind of north speak.
to be
Yeah,
fair,
Matt.
I feel like 80% of these I can't pronounce.
Yeah, I was like Weldrake and Coningsby and like Crosswind Fell are kind of like the old English, ways of going about it.
I can say Outpost of Stone.
You know, Matt, I just realized it's been quite a while since I've renamed something of yours, ever since those two guards in Crosswind fell.
It's true. But Yeah. So there was. Oh, Herpes Forest. Thanks. That's great.
The problem is whenever you put it on while we're looking, you just like you instantly see it.
So the a lot of these are either like bastardizations of Roman names, or in the case of like dwarves, I was kind of going for a little bit of Welsh and some other random crap in there.
Because yeah, black and white, I do know, but not spelled like that.
Yeah. So okay. Desiree, you still here?
Yes.
It says Reston's online.
It does, but it's often misleading. Is he on? Is he on Steam? Let me send him to Steam.
Not on like Roll20. Just he has a little green dot in Discord.
Yeah, he's always online,
Yeah,
whether he's actually here or not.
doesn't necessarily mean that he's around. By the way, the new update to Stellaris is awesome.
I have yet to play. I have been busy with Blood and Wine, which is amazing.
Blood and Wine.
The Witcher 3 expansion.
How is it, by the way?
Awesome. I love everything about The Witcher 3
I know.
and CD Projekt Red in general.
Is it worth buying though?
Yes,
Okay.
it's better than like most full release games that I've played recently, and
It's
an
which is
expansion.
definitely good money value for time.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I hate you get the big releases and then they give you the patches like that, and it's like only 20 minutes worth of gameplay or something like that. Here, spend $50 and you can get a new hat.
I'm quite enjoying Overwatch. I'm up to like level 12, which is
I'm weirdly enough waiting till this Thursday for Payday to do their major update, and I'm gonna play a bunch of that again.
it's good stuff. All right, so who wants to recap from last time? I don't think.
We left the cave after getting so far in, seeing a bunch of stuff, and then going, well, we're pretty hurt, and we've seen as much of the cave as we want to see. Let's go.
Basically,
Yeah, we pretty
screw the
much-
children.
Yeah, we pretty much cleared that dungeon. We learned that the thing that was trying to mindfuck all of us, like wanted to collect like things that mattered to people, which is why it took children. It also had like a bunch of
Oh, I'm dumb. I didn't even put that together.
A bunch of,
things
like-
that mattered to people, taking children.
yeah. Well, it had like a stockpile of like weird like antiques and like trinkets and like a broken ore and some shit like that. And we found
Which we
some stuff.
decided not really to take the ore or anything.
No, I mean I took the valuable stuff because Matt said there was some, and he told us how much it divvied up to each person, which I don't remember because I've already added it.
I don't even know if I added it.
And then I said that I took the head of one of the banshees because I'm gonna assume that if we walk back and are like, "Hey guys, there's monsters, you should leave," they'd be like, "Ha, you jesters." So
We also assume all the children are dead because of all the
tiny
Old
children-sized corpses. Oh yeah, no, we
Very
didn't find
clothes.
corpses.
The
We found
children
clothes.
clothes.
We're going with that in case, instead of actually thoroughly searching the place because we'll probably die.
I mean, to be fair, we pretty thoroughly searched that place.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
we
children's
know
clothes.
this.
Well, they must be dead. And then we go.
To be fair, we did go through a maze and murder like
I
maybe,
don't
like,
actually know if there
14
was
monsters.
anywhere else of that cave to go. Like, I'm pretty sure that we
Did-
actually went just
There
about
was
everywhere.
there was a scary direction where we got bad feelings. And
No, we went
decided
down
we're
there.
not going
Yeah,
that
we
way.
ended up going there.
Yeah, we ended up
Oh,
going
yeah,
down
that's
there.
with the
We
kids.
found
Yeah.
rags down there. So
That's
evidence
actually kind of good
proves
we
that
went down there. It'd been fun if
kids
we
are-
left and just never knew.
So children deceased, heading back to town. Yeah, I'm pretty sure where we left off.
Yeah, it about
Right.
covers it. So you're making your way back, and you'd spent pretty much the full night inside of that cave, although it felt much shorter to you, probably because you were stabbing things and you know, jumping at
And
shadows
getting stabbed.
and jumping at shadows and such.
We got possessed and shit.
I didn't.
I got curb stomped by Dom here.
I didn't get possessed either. I just curb stomped teammates.
And so you actually, Dom, did you not get the your piece of the loot from last time?
I don't know. Apparently I'm listed at 49 GP.
I think you should probably be a little higher than that. Let me double check.
Price up at 100 if you want. Have a nice round number.
Well, by the way, I discovered there's a feature that if you click on a character, you can make him automatically pop out into a new window, which is amazing. There's a option for that. Let's see. So I'm looking for. Desiree, I swear to God, if you're writing on my map.
From what?
Fuck, what was I?
Writing on my map.
What was it like?
I'm not.
And just for the sake of, I guess, housekeeping, since I'm responsible for the payroll of Celia and Roderick, is Vig a Reaver? I don't remember if she's just associated with them or if she actually is.
She's not officially a on the mercenary side of the Pale Reavers. There's sort of a backstory to the name, and there's sort of an
Yeah, I remember that she knew Feroy and like the guy who came before, but I just couldn't remember if she was actually. Would I be responsible for paying her, or is she on her own payroll?
She's on her own payroll, but
Okay. So then, whatever it was that we divvied up between us, I take 1/3 of that and give the other 1/3 to Celia and then 1/3 to Roderick.
okay. Let's see. Take a brief look at my notes here before we get too far in.
I just realized I now have plus 20 in heal.
Nice. I realize now that Matt left me 800 experience away from my next feat.
So you reminded me. Yeah, you were saying you didn't like how much the default thing gives for gold.
I probably mentioned that.
Like the default track, sort of.
Yeah.
You can use the NPC tracks instead, which are like a fourth of what. Like instead of at level 6, instead of getting 1600, you get like 3.5. Which.
Sure. Good to know. So as you get closer to the town, walking back, you notice that the town is sort of engulfed in activity. It's
I thought you were going to say flames, and I was just going to sigh.
And everyone seems to be loading things in the wagons and getting ready to leave. It's pretty clear that everyone's kind of getting ready to ship out. There's criers in the street who are shouting, by order of the local sheriff, you know, Bracklewhite is being evacuated. Make way east. And that's all the direction that they're really given. So.
I guess that saves us explaining.
Oh, something has gone right, which means more things are about to go terribly wrong, but for right now, I'm just going to enjoy not having to explain to these people that they need to leave.
But we should ask.
It's like a single tear going down Ethic's cheek for not having to deal with the, like, back and forth.
Just, is this your dead child's clothing?
That being said, what is it? So there's like a sheriff. Would he be like the head of the guard kind of person?
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to try and locate him, so he at least knows what he's dealing with.
Sure. Just a second.
I forgot I'm supposed to level up.
As was I.
Oh yeah, me too.
I vaguely remember, was it you that was like, oh, I need like 50 experience more? And it's like, yeah, have 25.
No, I needed 1,000 more, and Matt was like, yeah, you guys can have an extra 200.
A rogue cannot. A rogue character can no longer sneak attack me anymore or flank me.
Good to know.
They can in some situation, I think.
Matt just crosses rogues off the class of NPCs that he's going to be making now.
So this defense denies another rogue the ability to sneak attack the character by flanking her, unless the attacker has at least 4 more rogue levels than the target does.
4 more rogue levels. That's all I need.
I assume it's uncanny dodge.
Thanks for giving me ideas.
You're facing the wanted outlaw, level 12 rogue.
I said, just don't do what the other campaign's been doing, where it's like, you pick a fight with someone who looks normal. Oh, it's a 20th level cleric. Oh, it's a 20th level wizard. It's like, please stop this. It's really scary.
Considering our max level is 8, I'd really hope that Matt wouldn't do that.
Is this the same guy that was doing the dragon sharks?
Yep.
Oh.
We're really lucky that we have a strong party because they're 3 to 2 level 10s. Just like,
All right. So you're seeking out the sheriff. Okay.
Yeah, or whoever would be like in charge of protecting these people. If there's like the sheriff and then like the captain of the guard, like I would go to the captain of the guard. I feel like he would be more directly involved.
Yeah.
basically whoever we can find.
Bracklewhite isn't really large enough to have separate, sort of military and policing. All falls under for the protection of the local sheriff.
Okay.
And he's got a house next to the Reeves estate that he does his dealings from. It's a rather sizable house, 3 stories in a town that's mostly 1-story, ramshackle places. So stands out pretty well. But you get the impression that there's a lot of other people who are using or are staying at the place as you approach.
Okay. So I was like, if he's not outside, I would go up and knock on the door and see if I can get somebody to get me in contact with him.
All right. You go to knock on the door, and the door swings out and open like towards you, like before you have a chance to knock. So go ahead and make a quick reflex save.
One second. I don't remember what my reflex is.
So we're just going to be standing behind someone as he gets his face slammed in with the door.
Maybe.
26.
Okay. You deftly step out of the way and make room for whoever is bursting their way out of the...
I phase through the door.
Sure.
Oh shit.
And, by the way, just a PSA, Rebel Galaxy is $10 today. Which is amazing. Yeah, so you step out of the way, and it's just it looks like one of panicked citizen or another is hurrying their way back to their house after checking on something um, at the sheriff's office. No apology or anything. No offer to hold the door for you. They're just kind of zooming their way out.
Mumble something about rustic hospitality, and then proceed to not get hit by the door again and enter.
You're in what appears to be the foyer of a house, formal greeting area, but nobody appears to be there. There's a parlor off to your right, and looks like a living area off to your left. And there's some more doors down the hallway.
I don't suppose I've gathered what the sheriff's name is from the crier, right? Or did he just say the sheriff?
He said the sheriff.
Another, because I don't remember, when we kind of like accepted this quest, quote unquote, to go find these children, was it widely known, or like would the sheriff know that I was one of the people that was sent to go find them?
Probably not. It might be a little bit below his pay grade.
Okay. So, I guess I would make my way into the living area, and like kind of as I like enter, knock like on like the side of the wall, like not being totally rude and just walking into this guy's like, if there's no like doorway barring it, like knock on like the threshold, I guess, to get his attention if he's in there.
Yeah. You going where? I'm sorry.
The living area, and then if he's not there, then the so there was a foyer on the opposite side, right?
Parlor.
Yeah, parlor. That's what I meant.
Yes.
So living area, then parlor.
Yeah. It appears that somebody set up a desk in the parlor area, and there's a rather large man standing behind it, looking over some papers, and there's a map spread out on the desk as well.
So I approach him then and say, "Good. Is it early morning now? Did we establish that?
Mid-morning.
Okay. So, good morning, sir. I been led to believe this is where the sheriff resides."
He glances up. He says, "Yes, Sheriff Danpool. What can I do for you?"
I have vital information for him regarding the evacuation of the town. Something that he will need to see.
He gives you a skeptical look. He says, "I don't really have much time for much of anything these days, and it appears my..."
Your mic's cutting out a little bit.
Okay. He says, I apologize. I don't have much time for much of anything today. What is it that you are proposing to show me?
So, well, I know what's been taking your children, and I know that there's more of them out there, and I'm not sure exactly how well the town knows what it's up against.
He says, we've heard rumors of the pale people coming from the west. What do they call them? The gray elves. And we know the mercenaries that are working with them. I guess that's about all we need to know. I think we're on our way out.
I just kind of like, the pale elves is what you were evacuating for.
He's like, yeah,
Ooh.
that's it's pretty common knowledge that they've been moving in from the west.
Say, well,
we've had to turn away refugees simply because we were too full up, but now it appears that we've become the refugees.
Say, well, good sheriff, as one man in a position of authority to another man in a position of authority, I apologize because I'm about to make this whole thing much more stressful for you. And I take the bag, and I take the bag that I had the head in and say, what I have here is what you're truly running from and what has been stalking your village. And I just place it down. Say, that is what you need to be running from, not the pale elves.
He looks at you.
And I get like a deadly serious look on my face.
He looks at you suspiciously, and then looks at the bag, and opens the bag, and shuffles the sides down so that it's basically just the head laying on top of the pile of the bag. And he's like, "Well, that's." He pauses, takes a breath. Yeah, that's disturbing. All right. Tell me how this fits in with these elves. I'd only heard of these pale elves in passing before this, this winter passed, and now it seems they're all anyone can talk about. So I'm a little behind on whatever it is happening.
Okay, we're out of character real quick. I know that we met the elves in the forest.
Yeah, those were wardens of the forest. They were not.
Oh, they were not the pale elves.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dura is familiar with them as her homeland is sort of overrun by them at some point. So is
Yep.
any of this ringing a bell, Dura?
Yes, I know.
I think it was Vig who explained to you that these are the Lan Lanari, which pale elves is or gray elves as they're called actually. Gray elves are not is a misnomer. The real gray elves are much different and sort of reclusive and revered for their wisdom. These are they're called gray elves because they smear clay on their faces, and they're sort of no longer. They've kind of been taken. Their name has been taken away from them by the other elves, so they've kind of been disowned by the other elves because of their association with the kingdom of old. Essentially, the old emperor who ran amok, and there's some history there that I'm not sure most of you are aware of. So, but that's kind of where it goes.
Okay. But he's saying that they're coming from the general direction of the forest, right?
No, he's saying they're coming from the west.
Oh, okay, it's coming from the west.
The criers were telling people to head east.
Oh, okay, heading east. Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to think where I would go with this conversation now because I was a little confused with. Okay, so he had asked me how this ties into the Pale Elves. Is that?
Yeah, he's trying to draw a line between the two.
Oh, Reston found him. Okay. I basically just tell him, from what I have known, that wherever these things go, they tend to kick up and rile about the inhabitants already there. It could be that they're behind the Grey Elves' incursion from the west into the east. However, I also know that they've been stalking the area around Brecklewhite, and I thought that he should be aware of this fact when proceeding with and organizing the evacuation, or else he'd find himself overrun by these things far faster than the Grey Elves. And we also ran into them in the east in the woods. So he might not be going towards safety as he believes he is.
He rubs his chin. He's like, "Well, I'm sort of at a loss. Is there a path that you'd recommend we take to safety? Because if you're saying that there's demons such as this to the east, and these elves to the west, who word is that they do horrible things to those they capture. I'm not
okay. Add a question again real quick. We ran Ka Orthide.
Yep.
Is that around the area where we ran into the banshees in the woods, or was that closer to Kyrius? Kyrius.
So you were sort of making your way on the eastern portion of the river, down to Alvacati,
Okay.
which is where you ran into some banshees, as well as the wardens, and then you kind of between Alvacati and Kyrius, you ran into some more. So.
Okay. And one last question. Els Alari, what do I know about that town? Or that city town area, please?
Yeah, so there's a sort of a series of city-states to the north that are sort of similar to Crosswind Fell and how they're structured. But they're more closely associated with the human kingdom, capitaled in Weldrake.
Okay.
They share bloodlines and family and stuff, so they're pretty tight.
Okay. Okay. Would I know any, like, would I think, because I'm going to tell him either he needs to go north or to Ka Orthide, but would I know anything about Els Alari? Like, would they be accepting of refugees? Are they kind of xenophobic? Are they not fond of Southerners?
They are, there's nothing that would make them really turn anybody away. But the path between here and there is a tough one. You're going upriver if you're on a boat. You're going over some hilly terrain, which is covered in rocks. There's no real road between here and there, so it would be like trying to make your way, blaze a path essentially north. But then again, the road to Ka Orthide isn't, or the path to Ka Orthide isn't particularly easy either. It's probably a safe bet that Cartonnay and Gilramore are putting up a pretty good fight. So it might be it might be a safer bet for them to go up that way.
So up towards Els Alari or Cartonnay?
Yeah.
Okay. I say, well, if you are set on going east, I would say Ka Orthide is as far as you should go. Kyrius, a little bit too close to where we found more of these, and I kind of motion towards the head on the table, and I say, it's unfriendly bands of rivermen there. Like to think of themselves as free men, but more akin to brigands that would be more than happy for a caravan of refugees to run afoul of them. If you could make the journey, I would suggest Els Alari. See if you can find it that far north. You'd find that the Grey Elves have not ventured that far, and as far as I'm aware, Gilramore and Cartonnay provide a bulwark against any other forces coming east. But it's the best advice that I can offer.
He nods his head. He says, "Well, that's I can't find fault in your logic. I'll run it by the Reeve, see what he says. But it's a good plan. I appreciate your candor, but I'm curious what your stake is in all of this."
Tell him, well, my hometown is one that started out only slightly bigger than Bracklewhite. I have a soft spot for the, rustic villages out fending for themselves, and don't want to see anything befall yours that befell mine.
He nods his head. He said, "Well, if you're a upstanding captain of the Pale Reavers, as your raiment says, I do appreciate the help." And It's like we don't typically take to mercenaries, but beggars can't be choosers, and you seem to be bearing news that could only help us. If I find there's some kind of ulterior motive, you've made an enemy of the sheriff of Bracklewhite, but I'll take you at your word for now.
Chuckle and nod and say, no ulterior motive, just looking out for people that I can sympathize with.
He says, "Well, I have business to attend to. If you'll excuse me." And
one more out of character question, Matt.
Yep.
How many children went missing?
There were easily 6, probably more.
Okay, so we'll say 6 to 8, 6 to 10.
Sure.
Okay. And just a real quick, one more question. How is 5 gold a lot for somebody living in a place like Bracklewhite?
Yeah.
Okay. I take out my coin purse and put say 8 stacks of 5 coins on his little table, and I say, I know it's not enough. It won't help as much as I wish it would, but the children won't be coming back. See to it that this reaches their family.
He looks at you again and arches an eyebrow. He says, "Well, I pray it's not a guilty conscience that begets such generosity." If
I
he says, "But I will see to it that this gets in the right hands."
say no guilty conscience. It's likely that even when we arrived, we were already too late.
He nods and gestures to the door. He says, "After you."
I give him a bow and then head out.
And he's follows you out and moves to the Reeves quarters after you're gone.
I take it. At least I am just waiting outside.
Well, I was going to ask, did you guys follow Vathic, or were you going to go back to the?
I got things to do.
Okay, what were you going to do?
2 things. One, did you see the new talent I got?
I had the presence of mind.
I just sent the link.
Yeah, I had the presence of mind to pull up the link, but I haven't really read it. Okay.
Another thing, how long are we staying with these guys? Like, how long before they move out?
The town?
Yeah.
You'd expect it to be deserted by the end of the day.
Okay, I'm going to go along the town and look for someone that's homeless that, or not, someone, all of them are pretty much homeless if they're leaving, but, somebody who's downtrodden that doesn't look like they're probably even going to make the move.
Yeah, so the infirm and street urchins and all that.
Yes, I'm mainly looking for a healthy-ish looking male. Let me see if I find one.
There is shopping.
Shut up. Trust me on this. I'm not doing anything too bad.
You see one that looks rather hungover, but otherwise relatively healthy, you might assume. Probably dirty, but...
I walk up to him and I give him like my best smile, like, "Hello, I'm Dura. And you?"
He's like, "Dura what?"
"My name is Dura Bora."
I'm Alexis.
"Hi. Are you planning to make the move with the rest of the town?"
Well, I don't see much reason to give up my prime real estate here. And he gestures to the wall that he's leaning against.
I kind of go a little laugh I'm trying to be charming. Um, I'm a doctor, and I've been thinking about oh fuck. Sorry, I'm trying to word this properly. Um,
Take your time.
I'm a doctor, and I've been uh trying to come up with some new medications to help people, and I was wondering if you would like to help with that. I need some people to help me with it, but it's hard while I'm constantly on the move to have volunteers. Would you like to help me? And in return, I will pay you.
You want me to take some medicine and you'll pay me for it?
Pretty much, yeah. Like so I can document what works, what doesn't work, and you'll be paid pretty well.
Um, well, yeah. Um, do you have any booze?
Trust me. I pat him on the shoulder lightly. Trust me, you'll be able to afford all the booze you'd like.
He shrugs and says, "Well, okay. Do you, do you have any kind of um? Well, I'm not really sure what to say here. I mean, is there anything I should be concerned about? Nobody sort of just does this sort of thing out of the goodness of their heart.
That's why I'm paying you. But don't be too shocked. This happens a lot in bigger cities. It's why we have a lot of um, inoculations against other diseases. But mostly it happens in the bigger cities, not so much in the smaller cities, which is probably a good thing that I'm here. I'd like to get medical care to a lot of the smaller places.
He looks confused, but doesn't seem to argue the point.
You'll probably travel with us. You can ride on a horse and everything. It'll only be, I don't know, a few days of your time, and I will give you, by the time that the trip is up, I'll give you 100 gold.
Travel. Whoa.
It's
Uh, well, I have some family here that I really
It's only a few days' work
we'll be able
for
to come.
100 gold.
Whoa, no, that's you're yanking my chain now. I know that.
Pardon, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Says you're yanking my chain now. I know that.
I pull out my my purse and I give it a little jingle. It's stacked. That's the jingle of 100 or of over 300 gold, just as an
Does it
FYI.
say- It doesn't actually jingle. It's too full.
Yeah.
He shakes his head. He says, "Well, I don't know. This is." He, you can tell he's trying to restrain himself. He's like, "Okay, all right, yes, yeah. What? Just what? So what do I do?"
Oh, first off, you said you had family here, right?
Well, I have a brother. He
Does he?
he was
you-
down by the docks. I don't see him very much, but when I wander down that way, I look for him and make sure he's okay.
You know, I could always use another, and I'd be willing to pay him just as much if you'd like to get him involved as well. Why don't you go and talk to him, maybe, and meet back up with me in about an hour or two?
Sure, yeah. Is there some kind of advance you could pay me? I don't think he'd take me at my word.
I look at him and I try and sense if he's lying, like if he's going to take off with my money.
Well, it's made a little more difficult in the fact that he's pretty nervous about the whole interaction, but he's also pretty excited. But you can go ahead and you can
I just want to see if he's just gonna take my money and completely just, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Thanks, bye, kind of thing.
And with that, Dura hired the 2 most expensive prostitutes without them even knowing.
Sorry, it was the first one that would be a 25.
Yeah, but I'd rather take the 16.
I do like how that's still happening to you.
He's fidgety, and you could probably go either way, but you're getting a bad sense that, if you give him money now, you're probably not going to see him again.
Just go talk to your brother. Like, I kind of pull out my quote unquote doctor's license to show him, kind of like a little badge thingy,
It's
just to prove that I am in fact a doctor.
I don't know, would
You
you?
got a sleepy's stuff.
Where's that on your character sheet? The writ of.
You said
She
I had
just
like
wrote-
a
she just wrote it.
license. Yes, I just wrote it. You said I had to have like a little license to show the librarian or somebody that I was in fact graduated from so-and-so college or whatever it was.
Okay.
Games ago.
Yeah. Oh,
I would like to think it's just a little badge of that.
Fair enough.
I can do a diplomacy roll if you'd like.
No, that's fine. Actually, well, so is your ultimate aim harm for this man?
Not really.
Okay.
Not directly. But keep in mind,
I am technically just trying to learn some more medical treatments, and well, bad things do occasionally happen. That's not my, intended goal.
I can just picture this ending in a vivisection, but
People actually do this all the time, even in
I'm aware.
this time.
I'm aware. Okay, yeah, make a diplomacy check.
It doesn't tend to happen on the street, though.
You there?
it just ends in a very cold bath with ice.
They are, homeless.
Reminds me.
Never mind.
Reminds me of my.
I'm gonna. This is really important to me, so I'm gonna use my thing to re-roll.
God, I don't mean this in a mean way, but I would love for you to finally get this guy to come with us, and then some random bullshit happens, and he just spontaneously combusts, just because it's us.
Just one of those things comes out and goes, "You value this," and steals him.
Mm-hmm.
There, I gave you my last whatchamacallit token.
Okay.
Re-roll that.
Sure.
For 21.
Okay. Perfect. So.
I did say I was trying to be as charming as possible doing this.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, who has any inspiration tokens? I'm not seeing any.
I used my last one to take that critic to take the 2 hits for Kaylee, so she's in my debt.
Yeah.
And I used mine as well.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm also doing a good deed because, I'm helping the homeless.
Are you? Are you really?
Mostly. I'm helping humanity. If I do come up with some good, things, medications and stuff, I am technically helping the world too.
Things. Okay. I'm just fiddling with these, make sure I can see them show up. Ah.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
It's a big token.
It is.
So perhaps less excitingly, I'm just asking people as they come past what's happening. I'm assuming I basically get less information than Vathic did.
Yeah, I mean, you just hear, people point to the criers and say, "Well, are you deaf?" What I mean, what what more do you need? Um, but yeah, Alexis and his brother Elbert um, go along with Dura on whatever clinical trial that she's trying to concoct here.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you're so yeah.
I'll also go
Lucius,
into.
you're just kind of canvassing the people and trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Is anybody going back to the dirty anvil?
That's I mean, that's where I'm heading after I have my talk with the sheriff.
Yeah, I'm just waiting out the front for Vathic, kind of like, I'll ask people as they walk past, but I'm not going to go out of my way. I don't really care.
Okay. So, and Dura, where did you tell this guy to meet you in an hour?
I was going to go with the inn because that's where everybody was going to meet up.
Okay, you're directing him there then?
Yes. I also told him that I was going to buy them some supplies for the journey.
Okay.
Basic things. I'll take a couple gold out of my thing. Like for bedrolls and whatnot.
It would be difficult to buy supplies at the moment.
I'll rob someone if I have to.
The it's hit or miss whether the vendors are open. Some are trying to liquidate what they can before they pack up and go. Some have already skipped town. So
there we go.
hey,
Hello.
I know that guy. Rusty.
And as swiftly as he appeared, he was gone.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, I'm still here.
Welcome.
Just didn't have anything to respond to that tweet.
So you've missed Vathic trying to convince the sheriff to go to the northeast rather than to the tower.
I heard that. That's when I showed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did a good dude.
I bought some homeless people.
I heard that too.
Yep.
I was commenting on how you're taking the lawful evil path towards good. Just sign this dotted line on the contract, and everything will be better and happier.
What's one street urchin in the grand scheme of things?
I just need you to sign it in blood. It's fine. Stop making a big deal out of it.
You're not trying. I'm not trying to hurt you, but if something bad happens to you, well, I'm paying you a lot.
Well, I was actually going to do that when Matt
I mean,
got
to
back
be
to my
fair.
turn.
To be fair, I'm not gonna try and hurt you, but you might get hurt in the line of duty. Is essentially the guidelines that we all operate under. So
I think
Also,
I don't think vivisection is covered under chaotic good.
she'll wait till he gets killed normally.
Well, I'm chaotic neutral, so.
Oh, okay.
Also, I think there is such a thing as promising too much gold.
Yeah,
I'm
you were
almost
promising
certain
a
that
suspicious
100
amount.
gold.
It's hazard pay.
Yeah, I
shit,
mean,
I don't get fucking hazard pay.
he was kind of on board, and then he was like, oh, "Wait, 100 gold? That's too much. Now you're just being an idiot."
It's hazard pay, clinical trials. It might end up
He's
leaving
gonna
him
need it.
crippled, or he might get mauled by a bear.
What you should have gone with was you'll get this reasonable amount, and then if something unfortunate happens, you'll get this unreasonable amount.
If you die, I'll give you 100 gold.
Look, if I'm doing something to you and your legs stop working, let's just say you can stop working too, which you weren't doing anyway, so that might be good for you.
They might even give you peg legs.
Hey, Matt, I have a question real quick. Did Kaylee wake up? Because I know she went unconscious. Did she wake up, or is she unconscious at the tavern, sleeping it off?
She's unconscious at the tavern, sleeping it off.
Okay.
Yeah, Amadorn took her back to the dirty anvil.
after stabbing her, or well, me aiming for her.
Right.
Because I jumped in the way.
So how long were we staying in Bracklewhite, was it?
No, we're leaving. We're out.
Peace.
Yeah,
Wait,
so
wasn't it like nighttime or something?
it was. We spent all of the night under the cave, so now it's like mid-morning.
Yeah.
And
And,
we're not resting before heading out or anything?
I mean, if we can get any rest with an evacuation going on, I guess we could sleep for some hours. But what's our ultimate destination again, Matt? To go and kill the leader of the Black Hand, which is really all the Vath is concerned about right now. Where is that?
Somewhere in the mass that's coming from the west.
But like, where were we heading to? Ostracane or Northwich?
We were also heading to that one
or Sutton?
place for the thing with that the person traveling with us wanted.
That one place with the thing that the person trapped. Are you talking about Vig trying to meet up with her brother?
Wasn't there some object in like a cave or something that the lady traveling us?
Kaylee.
Yeah. She wanted us to go somewhere dangerous sounding. It's been a while.
No, Kaylee didn't show up with any kind of motive for that, really.
She just wants to touch base with Amadorn and decided to
pretty much
stick with us.
But Vig is sort of trying to guide you a little bit to the north, towards Astracane, because she thinks that's where the Black Hand would be.
Okay, because I remember the prince was like, here are all of these main quest paths that you can choose. One of them is the Black Hand, and I was like, well, that's where I'm going, so y'all can follow me, or you can put Matt through a real hard time and have him run 2 campaigns at once. But I don't remember. I was gonna say I don't remember where exactly he said to go, because I feel like he gave us a specific destination. Didn't need to go and assist the orcs.
Yeah, but it's sort of a fluid situation with the sort of evacuation of the countryside. So I think Theg Vanro was sort of the ultimate destination, which is consequently known to be a halfling sanctuary in sort of the
we're gonna lead the little people into battle.
The canyons up there. But
okay, so then I guess Astracane would be where we would be going next, right? Kind of.
Yeah.
Nice 30-mile journey.
Yeah. How far can you guys move in a day?
An amount of miles.
We do have horses, remember.
I have
you can move
battle
for
wolf.
8 hours a day is normal. I forgot what the rules are.
I think it's
We go check.
it's generally about like 2 miles an hour, right?
We do also have horses, don't we?
We do have horses.
Yes. Overland movement, mounted. We can go light horse 40 miles a day, apparently.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which may not work to your scale.
Yeah. I may just double the scale, just real quick.
So take us a
You
day,
just
and,
go
a day
from-
and a half.
You can just go from like one end of the area to the other in like 3 days.
Well, to be honest, I didn't draw a map that was meant to be ridiculously encompassing of a large area. But yeah, that seems more.
It's a pretty big area, to be fair. It's quite a lot of work.
Yeah, and this is all like a zoom out of a much smaller area of that valley that you all started in. So, but
We don't speak of that valley, Matt.
why not? You guys had a lot
The
of fun.
Spider Valley.
Crosswind fell. It was before your time. A whole lot of badness happened there.
Dura lost 2 characters.
I do like that.
Yes,
that like
I did.
by the time I've joined, everyone's like twitching and like messed up, and I'm just like, ever since I've gone, it's okay. There's monsters,
Yeah,
but they're
we
dying
lost.
pretty quick.
Yeah, trust me, it's a whole lot of bad. So we go back to the tavern, and I guess I am at least going to rest until Kaylee wakes up.
Okay.
I'm
The
going to pet Garador.
tavern keeper's like, I'm clearing out of here in, by sundown. So I'd ask you to pay in advance if you're going to be staying overnight.
I pay him in
Pay
advance.
in
because I'm
advance for
going
the
to be
building you're abandoning.
No, I'm totally gonna leave before sundown. I'll leave just after you.
Once you're gone, squatters' rights.
He gives a shrug. He's like, well, it was worth a try. It's like, I don't care what you do. But he is loading up all the booze onto his cart, so it might not be a
At this point, Vathek doesn't even care.
yeah.
Hey, Vathek, can I talk to you for a minute?
Vathek, who has been up fighting all night and just kind of looks to you with bags that you could go shopping with under his eyes, and is like, of course, Dara. I have nothing better to be doing.
I hand you a little bit of herbs. Shove these in your mouth. That might help you rest tonight.
Matt, I use my rangerness to identify what you just gave me.
All right, as you're trying to do that, Vig storms up, and she's like, "Where the fuck have you been?"
Oh, Vig, I have missed your lack of filter and candidness dearly the past 8 hours.
Did you
My
keep
eyes
the
just
hit?
twitching a little bit.
Like, are you fucking blind? The whole town is leaving. We got to pack up and get the fuck out of here.
And we will be packing up and getting the actual fuck out of here in just like a few hours. We need to wait for Kaylee to wake up unless you would like to carry her. I have no doubt that you can. You are extremely strong for somebody who is... you're very strong, and I'm sure that you could carry her. But I am very tired.
Shut your yap for a second, all right? Clyde is gone. I think he fucking stabbed Celia, and Roderick is on the warpath trying to hunt down the bastard. I don't know where he went.
Okay, so like...
What?
Like with a coin flip, Vathek immediately just goes back into like... just I'm going to kill people mode that he really hasn't left since the second session of the game. And I walk over. Did Clyde leave anything? Like I check his room, I check the table he was at. I go and check on Celia to make sure that she's okay.
Yeah, so Celia's up in her room, and she's bandaged, but she sits up and kind of gives a sharp salute, wincing only a little bit.
I kind of like wave her down, like, no, it's not necessary. Are you okay?
It's like, fucking bastard stabbed me. It's like, I always thought that guy was shifty and kind of a loser, but I never thought I don't know. I think he thinks I saw something. I don't know what he thinks I saw, though.
What makes you think that he thinks that you saw something? What makes you... Yeah. Why would you think that? It's a much clearer way to word that.
Because when he was stabbing me, he said, "This'll shut you up," and then I don't know.
Say, well, Celia, we are going to have to rest for a few hours. Kaylee took quite the few hits while we were investigating the missing children. Please rest up. Feel free to not shut up. I am, for one, am fine with that, unlike our resident trader. And I'm going to do my best to find out where he went. And then probably put an arrow through his eye. And I shall carve you a nice new mug from his skull.
It's like, well, don't let it be said that you don't take care of your people, boss.
Oh, I do my best. And you know what? I take care of their enemies as well. And I kind of give her like a little, like a amusing wink.
She nods and coughs, and then Clyde, Roderick gives you a scowl and kind of nods towards the door. He's like, I think Celia needs a rest. Don't get her all riled up, huh?
Of course, Roderick. And I give him and Celia's payment. I say, I trust you to oversee the rest of the group's going on while I go and see what I can find out about a man who is very soon to be dead. Valek's just like rubbing his temples because he can't get a break.
Okay. Gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Grab a drink and we'll be back.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Still just amused, just sitting there, just like not fully knowing the party dynamic, just people stabbing each other, people yelling at each other, just like,
And I was just waving around trying to get Vathek's attention when he storms off.
I don't know. I feel like I missed something.
People got stabbed.
Yeah.
I also realized that I totally forgot to put like traveling stuff on this character sheet. I have it on the other one. So apparently I have a backpack and nothing in it.
So I turned to Lucius and I'm like, so I bought 2 homeless men.
It cost you much?
Pardon?
Did what now?
Did it cost you much?
Oh, I haven't paid them yet.
Plan on paying?
If they survive.
And what do you plan on doing with them?
Trials. I look at him dead in the eye. Dead in the eye. Medical trials.
So I take it you're a bigger fan of kids than adults.
Obviously.
Better them than us.
It's true.
What?
Which reminds me, I turn to Magnus. I'm going to need you to wrangle me up some animals while we travel. You think you can handle that?
Wrangle you up some animals?
5 animals.
I don't usually take animals alive.
Do you think you have the skill to do that?
Oh, what kind of animals are you looking for?
Oh,
Like squirrels or moose?
Deer. Rabbits, deer, whatever you can get your hands on.
I mean, it's doable, but odd. And the tricky part isn't so much capturing them as keeping them alive and not having them leave after, they're captured. While you're on the move and don't have anywhere to hold them.
Uh,
Do
I
they need
really need-
legs?
I really need to talk to Vathek. Fuck.
I'm here.
Can I talk to Vathek?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting ready to go out and, probably
He's
skin
gonna
the man
sleep.
alive. But
Is the music working for anybody? I'm not hearing it.
yeah,
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
hear it.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, I was
Yeah.
going to
Sorry,
sleep
Jacob.
until I was informed that one of my people was stabbed,
So I'm
and
gonna
now
drag.
I'm going to permanently put somebody else to sleep in a very violent way.
So I drag Vathek to the side somewhere where we're out of earshot. It's kind of important. So, hey, I had an idea and you might not like it.
Okay. Well, there are many things going on right now that I don't really like, so if this is something that requires my approval, I urge you to think strategically about when you may wish to ask me it.
Kind of already got started, but it's not really your approval so much as, she looks at you helplessly.
Now, this kind of like tapping his foot and giving like a, I'm not trying to be rude, but like I need to be doing other things. Look.
I think I'm going to try and reverse whatever has been the thing that they have been doing to people.
That is a very noble goal, and I will help in almost any way that I can. So long as you have my permission. expressly spoken, possibly signed in a contract.
I already hired 2 homeless men.
Ethic looks as if he's about to say something, and then like realizes both who he's talking to and the situation they're in, and just kind of like shakes his head and says, "They're your responsibility. You may as well be their commander there to follow your orders. You are to feed and clothe them, and their safety is of your concern. I won't let them die, but nor will I risk anything out of the ordinary to save them."
I just wanted 2 things from you. One, do you think this is completely morally wrong to do this? I mean, it's 2 people that have nothing really to lose, as opposed to the millions that can die from this. And
Are
I
you
might
asking-
need... Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you asking me if I agree with you infecting them, or have you found people that you believe are to be infected?
Of infecting people.
Then no, I don't believe that you should be doing that. I think that there will be plenty of opportunities, considering these things are expanding and overrunning and harassing villages now, to find people who are naturally infected. And I do not support giving somebody poison in the hopes of developing an antidote to it.
Yes, but the problem is you want to be able to find... You won't be able to find them when they've just been infected, so you need to know the stages of this disease, this thing, this sickness, and in hopes of reversing it, and it'll help me to reverse the process.
You hope it will help you reverse the process.
Yeah. If not, what are we really losing?
2 people's lives, actually. The scope of this is the same as me saying, I would very much like to be able to regrow fingers. May I cut off your finger in the hopes that I can find a way to grow it back eventually? Except on a much larger scale, because these people will die in a very horrible way.
That leads me to the second thing. I wasn't planning on doing human trial first, obviously. That would be stupid. No, I need you and your, you-ness. I just vaguely gestured to you to help catch some animals for animal testing first.
I'll give that one some thought.
And in the meantime, I will be actually using them as guinea pigs for other illnesses.
Treat what you may that you find wrong with them. If you wish to, they're your responsibility. And if I find anything too shifty going on, I kind of like raise my eyebrows, I will inform them.
I look at him plainly. I'm a doctor. I don't go out of my way to try and kill people. I did do this Pledge of Allegiance thing, I think. What was it called?
Hippocratic
The
Oath.
She looks
Hippocratic
up at the sky. She looks up at the
The
sky.
hypocritical oath is what you're thinking of.
No, I know what it is. I'm talking about how she doesn't.
Yeah, I believe you mean the hypocritical oath, Dura.
That thing, yeah.
Mathic like kind of like was hoping that like just Okay, well, I appreciate you asking my opinion and this little discourse that we've had, but well, I have some killing to do.
One last thing. Can we keep peace between you and me?
For the time being, yes, unless I deem it necessary to inform someone else.
Fair enough. Happy hunting.
Oh, it will be. Kind of like do like clenched teeth, like give like a, like tip the hat, and then I go, like I said, to try and find. I whistle for Karagor to come with me, and then I go to.
As you're heading out, I ask if you want, and I look at you as you're heading out. You want some help, boss?
Don't have much time to spare. I will take the help. Clyde is mine, however.
Guess I'm gonna get up and follow too.
I'll just be there to keep him from running away if that's what you want.
So I take, like I said, I take Karagor up to his room to where he was sitting. I try and find anything that I could get a scent off for Karagor to track.
Is Matt even here, or are we just
I
going
thought I
on
heard.
without
No, I
him?
thought I heard.
Yeah,
I thought
no,
I heard
I'm
him come back. Yeah.
I'm here. I'm just, why would I interrupt this? This is good stuff. So yeah, there's there's a there's all of his bedding is still there, as well as it looks like he was like at some point doing a lot of writing, and there's just little sheets of paper everywhere. Of I mean, it's probably 70 or 80 sheets of paper with his writing on it.
Okay, I'm going to after I'm done before I leave, after I'm done investigating in the room and having Karagor sent, I'm gonna just run, walk in and tell Roderick about the papers, and in some downtime, a little pet project for you if you wish to see what he was up to. See if you can just skim and find anything of importance, why he would do this, who sent him, anything like that. If I am gonna have to kill that son of a bitch prince after all.
He says, wow, this is, I don't even know if I want to look at this, but yeah, right, gotcha.
I say, I kind of clap him on the shoulder and say, I am sorry that this happened. I should have been more observant. I'll break one of his limbs for you. And I kind of give him a cheer up, bud, smile.
Yeah, thanks. And he gives a nod and kind of waves you away.
Give him a handshake and walk off to. Does Karagor have enough to go off of?
Yeah, he's,
from the bedding. Okay.
Yeah, definitely the bedding is.
Also, I ask Vig how long ago Clyde ran away or has been missing, because I don't want to disturb Celia.
She says, well, he did that early this morning, probably 4 o'clock in the morning, so he could be anywhere by now.
While he's doing this, since I offered to go along, I get my horse ready in case, that's needed.
I'll join up and suggest we get everyone's horses. Because no one's in the town, so who gives a shit if we set up the horses out the front?
Yeah, get the horses ready. I tell Lucius to have everybody ready to leave on the way back, and to do what you can to have everything ready. Make sure nothing like this happens in my absence, and we'll be leaving likely as soon as we return.
Vig pipes up. She's like, you want an extra hand?
Say, well, Vig, if it is not too much for me to ask, I would ask for 2 of them.
I would
Yep,
help
we
you,
should
boss.
leave one person.
I would go with you, boss, but I have to stay and wait for my friends.
Yeah, well, I mean,
So,
I'm leaving Amador and Lucius, Dura, Celia, Roderick. Is Mathis still with us?
Nope.
No?
He's he was around, but you don't see him.
That's so good. I'm glad. And Kaylee back at the inn.
You realize
So-
at this point I'm not actually there. I'm outside getting horses because I think I'm coming with.
Yes, but I mean, then I had said, make sure that everybody's ready for when I get back. Make sure nothing else happens like this. If you can find anything, kind of investigate. Kind of like putting you and Roderick in charge.
Cool.
All right.
Because I figure that we can move faster, just me and Magnus.
So you're leaving Vig behind.
No, Vig comes. Sorry, Vig comes with. Vig comes with us.
Okay. Cool.
Bring in the trackers.
All right. So these guys head off to do some tracking with Karagor in the lead. What are you guys going to do in the meantime?
I'm gonna wander off and start checking for some stuff to take some supplies and that. I'm just like, yeah, I don't really want to stay here. Not for now.
Okay. Dura, you're doing doctorly stuff?
If you want me to do, rolls for it every now and again, just to see how far along I get in the research of trying to come up with how the blood affects the infection from what makes banshees work, I will.
Yeah. Why don't you make a medical roll? Whoa.
I know how all blood works.
Oh, so it's an 18 plus 20. I see. Okay.
18. Oh yeah,
How do you have a plus 20 on healing? It's crazy.
I put all of my shit into healing.
I guess. I shouldn't even be allowed to do that, I think, but all right, whatever.
I know. That's where I got the blood from, Magnus.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the blood from the cave pool thingy that turned the things.
The black
Yes.
stuff? Okay.
I still kind of wish I'd toss one of my dogs in there to see what would happen.
I almost tossed Desmond into that.
Okay. Well, so, okay. Fair enough. So, you guys are holding down the fort. So,
I think I'm the only one of the NPCs that are here that are staying behind. The rest are out with Vathek.
okay. So, Vathek, you get a distinct feeling as Karagor leads you through the town that you start to figure out pretty quick where Karagor is leading you. And that's back towards the Reeves house. And
and as we're going, I guess I would have done this shortly before, but I paint the war paint on my face, the Reaver war paint, so that if I need to, I can activate my war paint ability.
Okay.
You don't take very kindly to being cross, do you, sir?
The Reavers are my friends, my family, and my responsibility. I don't take kindly to people hurting them. In battle is one thing, stabbing in the back is another. If a man kills my Reavers on the battlefield, it's combat. It happens, it's what they signed up for. Clyde traveled with us. He knows of our quest, and he knows more than I would like to him to get away with. Celia and Roderick are very dear to me, and he's going to pay.
So as you approach the Reeves house, you notice that the sheriff's house seems to no longer be abuzz with activity, presumably because everyone is out doing other things. But there's something curious on the front door to the Reeves estate. So there's a courtyard before the mansion, essentially, so it's walled off, and so that the front entrance is a small door that it's just a small wooden door. You could lead a horse through it, but it's not not like a full
gate
processional through the if you were to try and get a cart through there, you'd have some trouble.
Yeah.
But there's a knife and what looks like an ear to a dog has been like just jabbed into the front of the door. So and it's kind of quiet around the Reeves house.
Trying to think how I would respond to this.
Like unnaturally quiet, like no wildlife quiet, or
Well, there's wildlife around, but aside from
no obvious human activity, but not
yeah,
unnatural silence.
I mean, down the street you can hear some stuff, but I mean, in the immediate vicinity, it's kind of like, okay, where did everybody go?
Vathic kind of just gives like a low, like creepily uncharacteristic kind of growl at the just kind of whole situation, and I take it. I once again forgot to write it down, but do you remember, Matt? I paid money to have special arrows made that did like extra damage from the certain kind of stone or metal way back.
Yep. I can bring up my notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pull out one of those.
You guys really need to write this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, some of my inventory stuff is missing, like since the update.
Oh. It's probably there. You just got to look at it in the raw attributes. But.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I'll try but I'll write that down right now.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should do that now, but
I think it was like wasn't it like they bled and had like an increase to.
Was it dark steel or crimson iron, or Nurian silver?
It was crimson iron. I want to say it was either that or dark steel. It wasn't the third one.
Okay. So the one with the bleed.
Yeah, it was like bleed and then like +1 to damage or something like that, or like
+1 damage, 1d4 bleed damage for 3 rounds.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
For how many rounds? 3?
3 rounds, yep.
Okay. So I pull out one of these arrows, which is it like more jagged, I guess, if it's going to cause bleeding?
Yep.
Okay. So then I carve, I guess Magnus would see, I carve Clyde's name into the shaft of it.
Okay.
And then we, with
I raise an eyebrow at that, but don't comment on it.
I guess if Magnus is a reaver, it's kind of Vathic keeps like trophies of, so like he has some from beasts that he's killed, from people, from like bounties, from from like people.
So this would be his thing, and I would know about that.
This would be like Clyde has made it onto the shit list. This isn't like he does this for like every other bandit that he kills. It has to be like a big deal for some reason. And then we cautiously approach. And then we cautiously approach the door. I guess I have like one arrow, drawn and ready to go.
You want me to go around back?
I think it'd be best that we stick together. I don't like this. Actually, Matt, can I have... One second, I need to look up how Karagor's scent works again. Oh, no, never mind. He would be confused anyway, because there was just a bunch of people going through. Never mind. So we cautiously approached the gate.
Okay.
I mean, I'll go slower than normal if, that's what it takes to kind of keep an ear out, for like, if I hear like footfalls behind us, a door opening, anything that sounds like people approaching us.
Okay. Do you hear some kind of mumbling in the back of the house? Like there's some kind of conversation going on. But it's hard to make out. I mean, I mean, it's your half elven ears are picking this up, but it's not something that. I mean, obviously all the dogs would be able to hear this as well, but
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I guess Magnus, you're the one in the dark about this.
Yeah.
Can I make a stealth check?
Yeah. Which way are you going?
I would imagine.
So you could like there's alleyways on either side of the house, like because it's surrounded by a low stone wall, or
Mhm.
not a low stone wall, but a
Yeah, like
reasonable stone wall around the whole
Mhm.
thing. Out to you'd presume to be a guard in the back.
so. I would, if I were to go, through one of these alleys, I would be able to get into the back of the house, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm going around the back of the house. Okay.
Yeah.
And they are on either side.
Yeah.
Okay, so I motion for Magnus to follow me down the left alleyway to go around back.
All right.
I'll
Stick close by. Also doing my best to stay silent. You want to check for me
You want
too?
to take it stealthy? Come on, dude. Roll it, roll it, roll it.
One sec. Okay, so a 22 for me and 19 for Karagor.
Okay.
Oh,
28 for
damn,
me.
nice.
And we're gonna head around to the left.
Okay. Oh, why don't I have? Okay, never mind.
Sorry, guys, but I'm gonna have to cut it short today. I gotta get up really, really early,
I know how that goes.
Okay.
which is why I decided to stick back for it. You guys have fun, okay?
Cool. Thanks.
We'll keep you updated.
Yeah, have a good night.
Have a
Night.
good one.
Night.
Thanks, Matt, for letting me get 2 homeless guys.
Thank you for allowing me to purchase men.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to take that, but okay. Boy, I'm gonna regret that later. It just, I'm gonna have to figure out how to play the tragic homeless man that gets murdered by
Yes, you are.
by Dura. It's gonna be tough, man.
These are the sacrifices you have to make as a DM.
I know, right? Like I've got to put myself like this is. I feel like I'm a method actor. You know, I gotta start heavily drinking and. Wait. Oh, I already do that.
And leaning against walls that you claim are your own.
Yes, that's right. And starting to act crazy.
2 out of 3, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, I'm just looking up something really quick.
I do like that they're not followers, they're items.
Sheesh. Really? That's good.
So if you're curious why I'm going around looting, it's because I totally forgot to add like food and rope and shit to my second character sheet. So this is my excuse to actually have supplies.
You find 3 rocks, a boot, and a hat.
That's good
I
enough.
would have 3 more
Soup.
rocks than I have now.
3
I
more
could
rocks
actually
than I
use a
have now.
bow.
You can make boot flavored stone soup.
Boot flavored stone soup with 3 more rocks than I have now. I feel like we've got a.
This
tale
is
to
what
tell.
you've reduced us to, Matt. We get a rock and we're like, fuck yeah!
So I'll take the rock, threaten someone with it, get a paperclip, and then start trading up. Eventually I'll have a boat.
I'm gonna buy
If
me a house
anyone
with
remembers
this rock.
that story.
I'm gonna buy me a house with this rock. That's right. This is the wrong music for this. Why am I playing this?
I wonder if that story was actually true.
I imagine he fudged a little bit, but I'd like to think some of it.
Well, he's a Canadian guy.
Oh well, they're known liars. So.
He ended up trading it up to a 2-story farmhouse.
Yeah,
Traded what up to a 2-story
I
farmhouse?
think he started with a paperclip.
Paperclip. Yeah.
Nope, that's not it.
So that's why the Canadians dominated the fur trade.
Mm-hmm. It's in their blood.
The thing is, it's not in as many trades as I would have thought you'd have to. He went from
It was like
Paperclip
40 or something, right?
to
30 or
14
40.
trades.
Oh wow. Well, he had some people
And
that clearly, were just looking to be like, hey, look at this awesome
Join
thing
in.
we traded. Yeah. But
Yeah. It's kind of like he traded like a doorknob for a camp stove, and then that for like a generator, like probably like a probably like $5,000 generator from like a couple $100 camp stove, which is a pretty big jump.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, so you're making your way around the left there, Vathic?
Yes, the left. And Magnus.
Yep.
So 19 is the lowest?
19 is the lowest. That is Karagor.
Okay. I gotta find my... Okay. I swear I'm doing this right. Come on. There it is. Okay. You're reasonably sure that you're keeping a low profile. Although the 19 is Karagor?
Yes, it
All
is Karagor.
He tries to stifle a sneeze and does so successfully, but makes that
Yeah.
noise that dogs so often make, right?
Mhm. I guess actually it's me, Karagor, Magnus, and Vig, because she is in fact here.
Yes. Well, she is the halfling, so she should automatically.
She comes and goes as she pleases.
She doesn't even need to roll. She's just so short she can't be seen.
Her story has a ring of truth to it.
No, I've got stats for her too. So,
No, I wasn't sneaking around. I've always been here. You just haven't seen me before.
yeah.
Her natural state is sneak. Okay, so do my elf ears pick up any more details in the conversation now that we're closer to the outback?
Hang on.
Back around, I guess.
Let me do a quick spell check for Vig.
I'm picturing a Aquaman-esque sonar pulse coming out of your elf ears.
It's pretty much what it is.
Okay. So, yeah. So you guys all sneak your way up the left side of the house, and
Ba da 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 da.
sounds like there's, and you can all kind of start to hear this now. There's muffled shouting coming from the second floor. Sounds like a bedroom right above you, or some other room above you, but there's and something hitting the floor rather hard up there.
Well, yes, we start to move into the house. Unless
You want to go
I mean,
in through the window?
going, like not just going from point A to into the house. Like we sneak our way along. Like if we see somebody on the bottom floor, we stop. But I guess now our goal is to be inside the house since voices are coming from the second floor.
Okay, so as you round out back, you see that arrayed in a rather obvious, like it's not that there's any real purpose to it, but arrayed in a pile, if you will, there's probably 4 or 5. It's hard to tell just from the viscera hanging around, but 4 or 5 dogs that have been slaughtered on the lawn in the garden behind the house. And it seems like the blood has been just left to soak into the ground, and so clearly the ear came from one of these poor figures that now lies on the ground.
Magnus can't help but growl softly at this.
And making your way into the kitchen, off of the back of the house. There's two ways in. There's the kitchen and there's the solarium. Which one would you pick?
So I heard shouting coming from the second floor.
Yeah.
Could I tell which side of the second floor? Like left side of the house, right side of the house?
Left side of the house.
Side of the house. Kitchen is on which side?
Left side.
So then I guess I would go in through the left side. Because I feel like their own noise would cover up any noise that we would make, I guess.
Okay. So the door is locked to the kitchen.
We try this. What skill is to... Actually, I don't even have anything to pick a lock with. So I guess we try the solarium door then.
Solarium is open.
Okay. So if we look in, do we... looking through the windows, do we see anybody in there?
Solarium's quite to its name, full of windows. So it's pretty easy to see that there's not much to the solarium. There's a tipped over vase. It's a rather large vase that held a small tree. And it's half shattered. There's dirt splayed on the floor. You've got to step over the tree to get through the solarium. But it looks like the rest is pretty much left untouched.
Okay, so we head in, and then I guess I would make my way towards now the left side of the house, trying to find a staircase up to the second floor.
Okay. There's another door to the kitchen from the solarium, but that too is locked. You can make your way back towards the center of the house, which is a door into a looks like maybe a small ballroom or a formal reception room of some kind.
Okay, yeah, I guess we go that way then, because I literally have no way to pick a lock, so
Sure.
because you need lock picks, I would imagine. This isn't just like something that you can just kind of like
Just jam
do.
a credit card in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start to make your way through into the next room, and there's a kind of a this hall has large mirrors, which are rather ostentatious shows of wealth. Just a large mirror is not something that you see in a lot of homes. And they're all gilded around. This Reeve is obviously pretty well off considering the relative poverty of Bracklelight.
Yeah.
And do you guys have any knowledge, history, or local?
Let's find out. I have knowledge nature.
I have a -1 modifier to knowledge, right?
I have profession, which would cover knowledge in the mercenarying world. So,
Well,
if he buys a lot of mercenaries, I've probably heard of his name.
But your background before this was you were kind of a minor noble, right? Or am I thinking of Lucius?
You're thinking of Lucius, I believe.
Okay.
I'm just some nobody who joined up with the Pale Reapers.
And started breeding dogs.
Yes.
Cool.
Big dogs.
Big dogs. Cool. Okay, so never mind then. You're fine. Just trying to think. Yeah, so I mean there's some heraldry that you could probably pick out if you were more familiar with the city states of the kind of the Western world. But you're both of you know some basics about Wildrake politics like anybody, but this would be far afield from that, so you're kind of clueless to it.
I just kind of roll my eyes at the wealth in such a poor
so
typical.
There's a door to the what would be the right side of the house that you we'll call that the south side. The left side as you entered was the north side.
Okay.
And so you're kind of working your way westerly through the house. But so there's a door to the south side that probably leads to a living area or some kind of parlor. It looks like there's a door to the west that looks like it leads to a hallway. And then there's a door to the north side, which is the left side, which is where all the noise is coming from.
Does it seem like that door probably leads to the same room?
Well, previous doors in that direction headed for the kitchen. I mean, just knowing how houses are laid out, you might assume that this would lead to a formal dining area, if not more kitchen.
Okay.
Trying to think of where they would put stairs into the second floor from. I feel like living area would be the closest to where I could find stairs.
Well, house is this big. There's probably two accesses to the second floor. There's probably one
stairway and a main stairway.
Exactly. Servants would be working in the kitchen.
That's true. Okay, yeah. I guess I'd make my way to the kitchen then.
Okay, so moving into the formal dining area, it looks like there's quite a party went on in here. Looks like there's bottles of wine that are half drunk spilled over on their side, pouring down the white linen on the grand table. There's chairs turned over. It looks like maybe a bit of blood dripped onto the tablecloth as well. There's a few sets of silverware laid out, but it looks like there's 3 or 4 plates in the corner that have been smashed to bits along with the contents of the plate, which look to be a light meal of some kind.
Does it smell like the meal's been sitting there long enough to start rotting, or
No.
is this a recent mess?
It's a recent mess. The dogs all seem to want a piece of it.
Oh,
I just
they get
But
shushed.
there's also porcelain and well, I mean more like fine china ground up into some of it. So unless the dogs are careful, they might get a piece of that.
I give Karagor a look that I would imagine kind of conveys like we have more important things to do, and that Karagor would be a little bit focused as well, seeing as how he liked Celia.
Oh, he's focused. He noticed the food and kind of his snout moved in that direction, but he's all the dogs are
And
behaved.
like any dog or dog-like creature, he's always ready to eat just
Exactly.
about anything.
Exactly. Including people.
I mean, he is the size of a draft horse, so.
Yeah.
He needs to eat lots of people to get through the day.
But yeah. So I mean, I would make our way back like towards through the dining room, trying to find, I guess, like Magnus said, if there's like a
Servant's stairway in the kitchen.
yeah, like a servant stairway or something.
And
Okay.
down later that we can awkwardly cram Caragor into.
So back into the kitchen, you find a doorway that is unlocked, and stepping your way into there, you find that there's a woman who has been exsanguinated quite thoroughly.
Did the wounds seem like from weapons or from
It
banshee claws?
it seemed like there's a neat slice across her neck,
Okay.
and she was left to bleed out on the floor behind sort of the island in the middle where most of the food prep would happen.
Okay. I just like I didn't know if it was that answers what I wanted to know, because if it's like a throat cut or if it was like, she was mauled by the unholy creatures of the abyss that we're so used to fighting.
Right. Looks like there's also some defensive wounds. Like she was. There's some cuts on her arms and her hands, but
Mhm.
but it's clear this was quick. Even
Yeah.
though the defensive wounds are there, the neck slice came pretty quick, and she was down.
Okay. Just kind of shake my head, and then like Vathik is dead set, like one track mind right now on getting upstairs because he's convinced that that's where Clyde is.
Yeah. So there's stairs leading up and down from this location, and she is this woman is well dressed. It looks like she was probably, if not the lady of the house, a guest at the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So why would she? Okay. Okay. So yeah, we head up. I moved to head towards the stairs.
Okay.
I follow along.
Okay. You get to the top of the stairs, and you're greeted with what would be a servant's hallway, which is something that would kind of run parallel to the main hallway upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sort of back doors to pretty much every bedroom in the house, and you can pretty much gauge. Well, you don't really even have to gauge. There's shouting going on where the current occupants are.
Can I make out what they're shouting about now? Or is it more like fight shouting, like ah?
No, there's what sounds like sobbing coming from one of them, and it's just a raw scene. Sounds like there's it sounds like what you would assume to be Clyde making sort of accusatory remarks towards somebody, and then there's sobbing and maybe a cry of anguish or pain.
Okay. Yeah, then I make my way towards wherever that door would be.
Okay. You make it there.
I'm trying to think how I would. Okay, so I'm gonna try and position it so that I can get this door open, kind of take a step back, let Caragor charge in, and then be in a position where I can fire an arrow. Does that? So I open the door, step back so that Caragor can get in, and then I'm still right back at the open doorway.
Okay. Yep. So Caragor moves in, and
I get behind Caragor so I can move in after Vathik does his thing.
Okay. So you both are kind of crowding the doorway as Caragor moves in, and what you see is, well, there's a body on the floor. That's the sheriff, who is apparently also bled out, although it's a less clean kill than the one down below. and it looks like Clyde has this this other man who you presume to be the Reeve, just from the way he's dressed and the whole situation.
Mhm.
He's got him in front of him, using him as a shield. And Clyde chuckles. He's like, "Well, this
Oh,
is predictable. This is predictable. I expected you to come to their rescue, and I suppose it was Celia who gave me up, right? That bitch."
so what I do is okay. I would like to do a couple things here. You can let me know which ones I can do.
Okay.
So instead of give him like a response like I'm assuming he's expecting, because Vathek is always kind of like the smout, like quick wit, smart mouth, like always kind of has like a jab to get in.
Yeah.
Instead of that, I'm going to activate War Paint. So he has to make a will save or become. Is it? One sec. I forget how the stages of fear work.
Shaken, I think it's the first.
Shaken, yes, shaken.
Okay.
And then sorry.
What's the DC on the will save?
It is a 16.
Okay. Okay. So what is it that you're doing?
Okay, so So what's happened is like I don't have to like activate. I guess like immersion wise, like the war paint is just what kind of scares them. So what I do is instead of like giving him the dialogue that he's expecting, I just kind of open it in, like you just like gutturally yell like Clyde, and then so the war paint. I'm gonna try and intimidate him, and then Karagor is also gonna try and make an intimidation roll. Like I'm trying to just like system shock him into fear.
Okay.
Like catch him off his like.
Are you actually applying any kind of war paint, or is this just?
I said that I had it on. I put it on before we left.
Yeah.
You did mention that on the.
Yep. No,
right.
I remember. I'm just. Okay.
So it's like Vathek's Skirmisher Lord war paint, like what he wears like in battle.
Okay. Yeah. So, Karagor snarls. You've got your bark, and Clyde is shrinking a little bit behind his shield. So if anything, he's harder to hit right now. But yeah.
Well, do you want me to make the intimidation rolls?
Because
I was doing the war paint isn't an intimidation action, like it's an instant action. So I was hoping to do that, and then also make the 2 intimidation rolls.
So have both of them intimidate.
Like me, just with the presence and like because he's expecting dialogue.
Yeah.
So like the war paint being like just how like fierce Vathek looks, the intimidation being him just like not doing what, like not playing into Clyde, like he's expecting the like suave kind of like, oh you son of a bitch, haha, you know what I mean. He's getting like this like just angry rage from Vathek, and then there's also a horse-sized wolf, like
Okay.
snarling and like biting and like
Okay. So yeah, make your intimidation rolls.
Okay. What is Clyde's a human, correct?
Yes.
Okay, one sec.
While he's doing this, am I able to see into the room yet, or am I crowded out?
I mean, if you try and push Vathek out of the way, budging.
Oh no, I'm not trying to push you out of the way.
D20 plus 9. Sorry, one sec. My roll 20 is being real slow. I apologize.
It's okay.
I just want to see if he's armed with his human shield, or if he's just using him as a arrow cushion.
Using an arrow would be quite concerning.
D20, okay, so a d20 plus 10, and okay. I don't have any inspiration. Okay. And a 24. And then I don't know what does Shaken do? Let me check. Because he failed the first one.
Okay, so Vathic.
Isn't it just a
fumbled
-2 on rolls?
actually? And then so is Vathic then Karagor?
Yeah, it was Vathic then Karagor.
So
And
you
he
got
has a
some.
-2 penalty on saving. Yeah.
So do you want to narrate the fumble or shall I?
I guess that like the way that Vathic comes off, like it is very like intimidating and not what Clyde expected, but Clyde clearly knew what he was doing, so while he's thrown off and like kind of this might not be good, he's seeing that Vathic isn't necessarily thinking clearly right now. So he kind of gets like a trade-off. Like he instead of just being like all out like, oh my god, he's like, oh. Like, he kind of sees that Vathic is enraged and not.
Well, I was going to go for he more or less just kind of gets a frog caught in his throat and goes, but
And we can. It's up to you.
we'll meet in the middle somewhere.
Okay.
So so Clyde kind of tries to chuckle and laugh that off, but then Karagor lets loose a bellow that certainly gives him pause, and so I'm gonna make another roll to.
He has a -2 on this one from being shaken.
Yep. Okay, so what does that put him at?
Frightened. A frightened creature flees from the source of its fear as best it can. If unable to flee, it will fight. A frightened creature takes an additional -2 penalty on all attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks, blah blah blah. A frightened creature can use special abilities, including spells, to flee. Indeed, the creature will use any means necessary if they are the only way to escape.
Okay.
I thought Shaken was a bit weaker than that, though.
It is. He was already shaken.
Um,
Shaken.
You can't actually do that using Intimidate.
He was shaken and trying to intimidate him further.
Yeah, the Intimidate, I don't think can. It doesn't.
I thought that you had to. I thought that it was levels.
You can't double intimidate them, but if they're already
No,
shaken, I think
the first one wasn't an intimidation. He was shaken because of an ability, and then the intimidation on top of that would bring him to frightened. Because it's like stairs.
Okay.
Understand.
Let's read the common uses for intimidate. You can use this skill to cause an opponent to become shaken for a number of rounds. Success, the target is shaken for 1 round. Fail, the target is not shaken. Yeah, it doesn't seem.
Yeah, it actually does say using Demoralize on the same target only extends the duration, does not create a stronger fear condition.
But the first.
However, if you.
Sorry. I was gonna say, but it wasn't 2 intimidations.
Yeah, I just mean like if you intimidate someone and then you use a spell, it works. But if you use a spell, then intimidate, it won't.
I think order matters, and we'll go with that. How many ranks do you have in intimidate?
Counting favored enemy?
No, just ranks. Just ranks.
Just ranks. For me or Karagor?
For you.
6.
And Karagor?
7.
You put that many ranks into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of.
So if you exceed the DC to demoralize the target by at least 10, it is frightened for 1 round. Shaken thereafter. Is sort of. That's an optional section. But I would go with that, but I don't think you.
I mean now I know that I have to I have to intimidate before I use Warband.
Yep.
I didn't realize that it.
It's kind of weird.
It seems to me, in my clearly biased opinion, that 2 plus 2 equals 4, regardless of which 2 is first.
I'm not.
So it's
I wouldn't argue that point, but you did fumble, so I think that plays
Yeah.
heavily into this.
Although I would argue that 2 plus 2 does not actually always equal 4.
Of
I would
course,
argue that I hate math,
math
and
is
as
hard.
such, it matters little to me.
Math is hard, guys. Let's not.
It depends on what rules of addition and subtraction and multiplication you're using.
All right, I will call out at this point so that Clyde is, yes, he's definitely shaken. He's nervous, but the Reeve is like stuck still. He's definitely alive, and but he's not like struggling or moving very much. He's definitely very much
He's suspiciously zen.
no, he's not zen. He's frightened. But I'm just calling out that he's not moving. He's not struggling. He's not trying to get away. So
Okay.
whatever.
And Clyde has a weapon he is threatening him with.
You can't see any weapons that Clyde is threatening him with.
Okay. I just don't know if he's using him as a meat shield or as a hostage.
Right. Okay. So we haven't rolled in initiative yet. I'll let Magnus go, and then we'll do initiative.
Magnus is just going to. Vathic very clearly stated that Clyde was his, so I'm just going to be there to. I'm prepared to trip him if he tries to run away, or disarm him if he tries to execute his meat shield.
Are your doggies at home licking their wounds, or?
Yes, because they were both almost dead.
Yes, I figured. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What does Vig do?
Vig is. She can't see a thing because you guys are. She's got two hulking forms in the doorway, so she's shrugging her shoulders. Like,
Oh, I assumed that she had okay.
what the
yeah.
fuck am I supposed to do? Kind of pose.
Yeah.
You don't have to hear her say that, but you can hear her
Mhm.
in your head saying that.
Yeah, I assume that that's Vig's natural body language, but I'd say she's only seen Vathic like this a few times.
I don't think we were planning
Rarely.
on assaulting a small room from a smaller hallway.
Small doorway. Yeah. Yeah. So she's blocked behind. So, okay. Now everybody roll initiative.
Okay, I remember how to do this properly.
All right, there's a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
But we have to select our character too.
Yeah, let's see if I
Oh,
can get
they are
this
there.
for the first fucking time.
Lies.
Okay, that worked.
Hey, fancy that.
The macro to work, but not the roll.
Hey, that's a good roll.
That's not where initiative is.
Good of me
Oh.
to roll a 20 on initiative when I'm waiting in response towards other people's actions. Excellent.
You're really, really
Ah,
ready
damn it.
to let him
Crap,
go first.
my other one was 14. I accidentally didn't select Karagor when I tried to roll his. This is, where is Karagor's token? I don't think Karagor's token is on the board.
No, he's not.
Okay, well then I will roll for him.
No, I'll drag him on.
No, okay.
I'll put him back.
Nobody said anything about dragons.
Don't
Don't
let the
get
dragon
mad.
drag on you.
Good
I'm
doggy.
gonna have to go watch that.
Good doggy.
Okay, there it is. Ba-da-da-da-da.
Okie dokie. Karagor goes first.
Vathek hasn't given him any order yet, so he's like he kind of pauses a step forward and just kind of keeps up his like.
Well, he can hold action until Vathek goes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's gonna hold action then. You know, doing his I will literally eviscerate you given the opportunity thing.
Yep. Okay. Magnus?
I'm just remaining ready to stop him from running away or executing his captive.
Okie dokie. Clyde is going to call out. He's like, all right, yeah, so, okay, this was not really going as planned, but I think we can talk this out, right? I mean, obviously this Reeve is kind of a dickhole, okay?
When he says talk this out, yeah, there's a snort of laughter that Magnus can't suppress. Just a wry sort of thing.
Vathek?
Magnus.
I give him a look that's like kind of conveys the I haven't shot you yet, so start talking quickly. When he says we can like this Reeve is a dick, we can talk this out.
It's like, well, you know, clearly, you know, the Even Star is just walking all over House Pascalar, and these guys, they think they can do anything. House Even Star, okay, yeah, we're the star of the evening. We can be the, you know, the belle of the ball every time. You know, nobody's gonna fuck with us because you know we're the favored sons of, you know, blah 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 blah. I'm so sick of hearing it.
And what does that have to do with stabbing Celia?
Oh my God. Well, you know, she was skulking about my room the other night and fucking, you know, she knew. I mean, like
She knew what?
I was keeping personal notes, and you know, she knew that I was, you know, coming here to, you know, make right because, you know, let's be honest, this Reeve is just a puppet. You know, he, you know, Arcarius. You know, what kind of name is that, right? So this guy, he's just a nothing, right? Look at this place that he lives in. Look at the town that he keeps, right? He's robbing from the poor just to feed better truffles to his wife, to his fat pig wife who's lying in a pool of blood on the floor of the kitchen, and the Reeve, you know, sort of chokes up at this point, but he remains silent.
Real quick, out of character, Clyde was assigned to us by the prince, right? Him and Mathis.
No, Clyde was one of yours.
Yeah, but then he left for a while and then showed back up with the prince, didn't he?
That's right. Yes, he was with the prince for a time.
Okay. I say, does this have anything to do with the prince? Did he put you up to this?
The prince is a fucking joke. Crosswind Fell. Nobody owns Crosswind Fell. It's just a town of thugs. You know, there's real holds in the kingdom of man. You know, and Crosswind Fell is not one of them. It's just a soup of gook and awfulness. It's a festering pool of nothing, of interbreeding and wrong. He says interbreeding, like, and you know, maybe that's meant to sting a little bit.
I'm trying to like. I'm trying to think of how I want to like. That kind of just like his eyebrows like raised slightly, like identifying that you like just kind of threw a barb at him. and like just a look of like you're literally like just spitting at the Reaper right now. Like kind of dumbfounded that he would even like consider doing that. Say, so all of this was just your little side project. Nobody else put you up to it, and nobody else was involved. Who was pulling your... Sorry.
Don't act so fucking surprised. You know, I've been talking about this shit for ages. Nobody would listen. You know, I tried to make it pretty clear that, you know, this is as much as this crusade against whatever the fuck is going on out there is going on. You know, I've got to make right with my family. I've got to make right with Pascalar.
Is Pascalar a city?
No, Pascalar is one of the major houses of Weldrake.
Okay.
To which Clyde belongs.
Okay. So it's just you. Where's Mathis Clyde?
Mathis? The fuck's he got to do with this?
He disappeared same time as you.
I have no fucking clue. Maybe he's a deserter, because what the fuck are we doing out here? I mean, honestly, Roderick is losing his mind because he hasn't seen his wife in ages. Celia is, you know, well, she's her own bitchy self, and obviously I had to take care of her, but, you know, she doesn't want to be here either.
So I look at him, I say, if you drop the Reeve, I will consider letting you breathe for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, okay. 5 more minutes. Well, that's quite an offer there,
You said you wanted to talk, didn't you?
Captain. You know, yeah, fuck it, sure. I'll drop the Reeve. And he steps back, and he holds his hands up like he's surrendering. But in one hand, he's got a dagger that's coated with blood. And the Reeve kind of stumbles forward and drops to his knees. Clearly,
okay, so
he was held by knife point, literally, at that point.
Okay, so I shoot him.
Okay.
1 sec, let me pull up.
He's probably not going to survive this.
Not in the slightest. This would be a 9. Okay. This is going to be an entangling shot. It's a 19 hit him.
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to use my second attack. Another entangling shot.
Okay.
And I'm going to activate
You do 2 in
gravity.
1 turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a limited amount.
Yeah, no, I'm just checking.
Sure.
That's cool.
And a 14.
Shit, man.
And Midorn's not here to soak up the rolls.
He's gifted you his luck on this one.
That's fine. He's got a real angry war dog that goes before he does.
I'm now half expecting that I'm just going to be walking through town shopping. I'm just going to see him running down the town.
Yep. Okay, so now Karagor?
Is going to attack as soon as I pull up his sheet. It's a 26 hit.
Yep.
Does he fall down?
What's that?
Does that beat his CMD?
Hang on. Yes. Wait. Yes, it does. Okay.
Okay, so he is down on the ground. Let me find. Oh shit, where's Caragor's damage? Why is it not? Sorry, one sec.
It's okay.
It's -2. 7, strength and a half. 7. Strength and a half is rounded down, correct?
I think so.
Everything's rounded down.
Okay. He takes 19 damage.
Okay.
So he like does his. I'll drop him, and then 2 arrows like whiz by him. And I'd like to mention, like, as he like looks, like where the arrow, and he looks back, and there's just like a giant wolf dog just like lunging at him, and then brings him down and starts moving to get on, pin him.
Mauling him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see real quick.
Are there windows in this room?
Yep. There's 2. This is what looks to be probably the master bedroom.
Okay, so can I say something even though it's not my turn?
There's 2 overlooking the garden. Yeah.
Okay, so I say Magnus, Vig, windows.
Okay.
We're making sure he can't get out the windows.
Yes.
All right.
Big guy here.
So is it my turn then?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let go of my whip, and as I'm moving towards the window, I'm going to pull out my net instead, and when I get to the window, I'm going to toss the net on top of the already prone Clyde to try and entangle
along
him.
with the dog.
What do you mean?
Caragor is kind of like on top of him all now. Because he pulled him down to the ground.
I don't know.
I just need you to secure the window, is what he was
Okay.
saying. Because this is going to turn into one of those RPG moments where it's like, you thought you got me, and then he like jumps out, he like ninja bombs and jumps out the window.
That's why I was going to try and entangle him on top of that, but... Alright, well, instead of tossing the net, since they're in one big pile, I'll just go to the window and get ready to trip him if he manages to get back up again.
Okay. Vig will move to the window as well. So. Clyde is going to attempt to stab at the dog on top of him. So.
Caragor's AC is 26.
26.
Holy shit.
Alright. Why are these not set? Okay, hang on.
And Clyde is still at -2 for being shaken.
Okay.
And he's making a melee attack from prone, which is disadvantageous.
Is it?
I think so.
If the person is on top of him?
I don't know. Are they grappling or?
I would imagine what Caragor is doing counts as grappling.
I'm fine with that. If he has to break the grapple to escape, I'm okay with carrying the trip into a grapple.
A prone attacker normally has a -4 on melee attack roll.
I'll take the -4, that's fine.
Sure.
And the -4 to AC against melee attacks, but also the +4 against ranged attacks.
Okay.
Hey, well, we house ruled the ranged attacks one.
That's a hit. He has the same dagger that he stabbed the Reeve with. And he stabs right into Caragor's side a couple of times.
Holy shit.
Okay, so hang on a second. Okay. And that's going to be 14 damage to Karagor.
Okay, I'll stress box that.
Okay.
Figure Karagor isn't enough of a rage, so he doesn't even really feel it.
Sure, but he's got a bloody gash on his side at least.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, obviously did damage. Just...
No, I'm good. Whatever. Okay, Vathic.
Okay, so what was it? Shooting somebody who's prone that's within a point blank shot range. We said doesn't give me a minus. Does it give me advantage? Is that what we ruled?
We can use advantage on this in this case, sure.
Okay. So, since he's on the ground, if I were to call shot arm, would I pin his arm to the floorboard?
Say with a reasonable penalty, sure.
What would the penalty? Because the penalty for arm is -2.
Is it?
Yeah, it's -2 for arm, -4 for hand.
If you an additional -2 to make sure you get you actually pin it down.
Okay. So first attack. It's a 29 hit.
Yep.
Okay. So whichever hand he was using to stab Karagor is now pinned to the like I imagine it's like a wood floor, right? Like he doesn't have like.
Yeah, no, it's a wood floor.
Okay, so into the wood floor.
There's a carpet, a nice carpet that you're pinning him through.
You know what?
It's okay. It's already covered in blood. So.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, may as well be my house now. Everybody else in it is dead.
The Reeve isn't dead yet.
No, he's bleeding out. He's at this point he's of no consequence to Vathic. So 4. That's 8. Sorry, for some reason all of my this is how much damage you do is not there anymore. So 7. Okay, so plus 11. He takes in another 20 damage. And do you want, I'll take penalties to damage, if you'd like, Matt, but I'm trying to end this combat before I end Clyde's life.
Well, 20 damage to an arm seems a little excessive, even at his advanced, level. So I can scale that down a little bit, but you're not close to killing him just yet. So.
Okay, and he takes.
That's 1 dead arm.
He takes a bleed damage for the next 3 rounds. Oh, that should have been 21. Sorry.
Okay.
I was using this special arrow.
Yeah. Oh, the Clyde arrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how far, how much did I pin him in? Could he easily just rip his arm, the arrow out of the floorboard, does it seem?
It would.
I am using gravity bow.
It would probably hurt him quite a bit to do any kind of.
He would he could potentially bleed out from the vein and ligament damage.
You've seen some shit lately. If he left the arrow in and managed to somehow pull it out of the wood beneath, that might be the best bet for him. But
that would take time. He cannot
not necessarily
feasibly.
Time. He might be able to do it, but you've pinned him pretty good, and you've seen some shit lately that maybe if there's something else going on here, you want to keep an eye on that, but
okay,
it's good for now.
Okay, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna shoot him in the leg also.
Okay.
With my second attack. Does a 20 hit him? Oh, well, yeah. Does it hit him?
20 does hit him.
Okay. So his leg takes 15 damage, and he has. One sec, I can get those up for you. The effects of the called shots. So for the arm, any attack rolls, ability checks, or skill checks made using the wounded arm take a penalty. And for the leg, reduces his speed by 10 feet. And he can't run.
Okay. Yeah, so you pin his arm down, but his leg is, we'll say, still free.
With an arrow through it.
Yep. Karagor?
Yeah, Vathek hasn't called him off yet, so he's going to make another attack. D20 plus something. Does you want Karagor to have advantage or the plus for attacking a prone with melee?
Advantage is fine.
Does a 31 hit?
Mm-hmm.
Takes 22 damage.
Okay. Karagor does a real decent swipe across his midsection, and I mean, like, you can start to see organs inside.
Okay. So after that happens, Vathek gives a sharp whistle and says something in Elvish to Karagor.
Okay, Magnus.
I'm still just standing guard, making sure he can't get up and run away.
Okay. Vig. Vig is kind of looking away. She's like, oh, this is... Like, she's not saying anything, but her expression is...
Mm-hmm.
She's not sure what to think of this. Clyde himself, like, aside from the convulsions from the pain of the swipe from Amadorn, or swipe from Karagor, he's the fight's gone out of him. You know, his swinging arm is pinned, and he's just down. And he looks over to you, and he says, "This is some shit, isn't it? How we got here? Are we ever gonna get out of here?"
Real quick, out of character question again. So, like, Vathek knew, like, Celia and Roger pretty well. Did he know Clyde well at all?
Not really, but
Okay.
you know, like a lot of people in authority, he probably knew you better than you knew him.
Yeah.
Certainly, you didn't know this part about him, but
Yeah.
you know, looking back, maybe there were some signs that he was cracking a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, certainly something set him over the edge when he entered Bracklewhite, and
Yeah.
this turned him into something else.
Okay. So, when Vathek kind of gave the sharp whistle for Karagor kind of, got off of him, and is poised, ready to attack if he has to, and Vathek just walks over to him and puts a boot like on his chest and kind of kneels down and says, "We all would have if you didn't pull this stupid little stunt. If you didn't betray us, we all would have made it out of here."
He laughs again, spitting up a little bit of blood this time, and says, "You think you're walking away from this?" And then he just kind of slumps back and closes his eyes.
Like he's dead, or like he's just
No, he's still breathing.
So, Vathek just kind of like shakes his head at like the entire situation and like the way that like Clyde is acting, and it's not like remorse on his face or like regret. It's more of a like, I would have liked this entire situation not to have happened, and trying to think how. So if I were to want to get the arrow in his arm out, I would want to break the shaft off and like move him up, right?
You'd want to break the shaft and then what?
Like pull his arm up. Like I want to get him like onto his knees.
Yeah, I guess that's how you do it. But I mean, given the state of the rest of his torso, that might not be such a hot idea.
Yeah, well, in this, Vathek kind of just gets like a little bit of a defeated and a little bit of just. His demeanor is clearly like, Clyde had this coming, but it's a regrettable circumstance to be in. And he pulls out the arrow with Clyde's name on it, puts a boot, like I said, like on his chest to steady him, and just kind of like pulls back with it, aimed at Clyde's forehead, and just says, "Could have made it out of here. Could have talked to me. Could have made it out of here. Instead, you betrayed me. You betrayed my trust. You betrayed the Reavers. Celia could have died." Does he not say anything?
He opens his eyes and looks up at you and says, "Just fucking do it."
If you said something, you cut out.
He opens his eyes and looks up at you and says, "Just fucking do it."
Yeah. I say, as Skirmisher, Lord of the Pale Reavers, for your betrayal and attempted murder of one of our ranks, I, Vathek Rohirrim, sentence you to die. And I put him out of his misery.
Through the forehead?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's the best way to put somebody out of their misery.
Vig's reaction is, "Through the forehead? Oh my, yeah, God."
So would you rather that he lived and suffered more?
Oh, whatever. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
It's quick and clean.
Ah, God, somebody deal with this thing. And she points to the Reeve and walks out the door.
Is the Reeve still alive?
Yeah.
Does he look even like patch-upable, or is he just gonna bleed out?
Is he still conscious, or
There's a knife wound in his back, but you're not sure if he's hit anything vital. So it's more incapacitating than really kill him, but certainly could.
is he still conscious though?
He's conscious. He breathes a heavy sigh and shakes his head. I don't know how I'm going to go on from this.
He says what?
He says, "I don't know how I'm going to go on from this." Can you guys hear me all right? Am I still?
Yeah, well, it's
you
just
cut out that one time.
No, that's, I'm just making sure. Okay.
Yeah, well, when we can hear you, we hear you fine. Just like when you were talking, like
Yeah.
we were like he just.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then we
then
can't tell if you're like pausing or if it's cutting out.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Well, I think the first step would be getting yourself patched up there.
Do you have any heal?
We know an exploitative doctor.
I mean, I can try and patch him up as best I can to get him ready to move.
Let's see. I have 0 heal.
Okay, I'm gonna try and heal this man. I get a 15. Wait, does favorite enemy apply to heals? Is he like considered is he a favorite ally as well?
We'll say no.
I could throw a
well,
net
then
at
I get a
him.
15.
I mean, I like how you're thinking, but I'm gonna say no.
I know how to do harm. Do I know how to undo harm that?
You know, no, you might want to seek professional help for this one.
Is he able to stabilize him enough to
Yeah,
safely?
he
help?
could probably stabilize him enough while you go get help if that's.
Magnus sighs heavily. I suppose I should go get Dura.
Vathek just kind of like Vig, go with Magnus.
Okay. So the wrap up of this, we'll call the end of the session here. We'll say that that you guys each get 1600 XP, and I'll include Dura in that. So I'll message her on Discord with the XP.
Woot woot.
That includes you two, Dom, if you're still with us.
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay.
Also, since I might not remember, it sounded like the Reeves house had lots of fancy things, and it's not
Magnus
usually his
likes fancy
style,
things.
but considering that it's in kind of a mess, Magnus kind of on his way out wants to keep an eye out for anything expensive looking and easy to snatch that would not be easily missed. Because, fuck it.
Well, I mean, so yeah, the Reeve is going to be lucky to make it out of Rackaway alive. So anything
Everybody
you
else
want
is
to grab,
gone.
yeah, anything you want to grab is probably fair game. The silverware in the dining hall / kitchen is probably a good bet, as well as a few of the more ornate decorations along the parlor and the reception hall and all that.
Does his wife have a jewelry box?
His dead wife, who bled out in the kitchen, has a jewelry box. Yes, if you'd like to plunder that.
Yes.
So I'm sorry.
I'll take that. And,
Alright.
just stop with that.
So as a retcon thing, I guess I could have shot him in the heart because I really didn't. It didn't occur to me where else you would shoot someone to put them out of their misery. It was like just fucking shoot him in the brain. Like
in the brainstem, that's where.
Okay, so I shot him in the heart.
It occurs to me
Alright.
that those in medieval Europe thought that the brain was useless.
Yeah.
So
I would have shot him in the heart then. I mean, really, I don't even have to be that accurate because, like, I'm shooting him from a gravity bow infused longbow, so, like, really, he's being hit with, like, at close range, kind of like a,
yeah.
So I shoot him in the heart, not the forehead.
Yeah. Okay. But
So it
yeah,
would have, like, obliterated his skulls.
I'll say that you make it out with 660 gold pieces. They're
Hooray for looting.
worth of valuables. So
660.
yep. So yeah, he wasn't meant to be so much of a combat challenge as an emotional challenge there.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. I hope that I didn't make it seem like Valak didn't care. Didn't.
No, you did. I think it gave opportunity for others to kind of emote off of that, and hopefully the retelling of that will be
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
an interesting piece of the next round. I've
should have
got,
just fallen in line and followed orders.
I've got places to go for when we've got a more full house, but I think this is a good
Yeah.
session.
It was. Well, I mean, not even just like fall in line and follow their orders, but been like, hey, Commander, who has been pretty open to anybody coming to him with issues, I'm having this problem. Not like, hey, let me shank essentially like the left-hand woman of the commander, run away, kill a bunch of dogs, because what the fuck, and then like slash a woman's throat. Like, there are levels of like stress, and like this is full-blown snap. And Vathek takes betrayal very personally. So.
Yeah, but I thought this was good. This was a slightly different session than perhaps you were used to, but I'm aiming for a little variety here in our session. So.
No, I liked it.
Yeah.
Also, Matt, I have a real quick backstory question for Vathek. Where is Foghaven? Where he's from?
Where he's from?
Yeah.
Where would you like it to be?
I mean, I had pictured Foghaven.
It could be to the east. Or it could be to the northwest of where you are.
I would say, by like northwest, do you mean like Gilramore? Gilramore? Sorry,
I was thinking. See the road that leads northwest from Gilramore. Foghaven could be up there somewhere.
Yeah, I could see it being in that area. I guess it had been called Foghaven because like the fogs would often roll in with like the village being kind of the one area where it was kind of safe for like merchants and people to pass through to find lodging and not get lost.
Well, it could also be 2 towns over from Alvacati, up the coast from Nitvalion. Being on the coast, it would be foggy.
Yeah, I can see that either way. I was just curious.
Amadorn's from north of Weldrake. And Lunaris would be, familiar territory to Dura, were not overrun by, gray elves.
Yeah, I'll give it some thought. I just didn't know if you had a set location for it yet.
No, I try to leave it pretty open to you guys.
Yeah, if you need, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So, like, if you need any more like information on backstory for Vathek or like specific people or like Foghaven itself, you can always I'll just shoot you a message on Discord and you can just whatever you need to know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, anything helps. You never know when I'm going to use it. I think I caught Amadorn off guard when I when I brought back Kaylee. So I'm happy to integrate that stuff, but some stuff I may ignore just as
for the sake of
good color. So, but anything that you think might enrich Vathek's story, I think is good. I try and because there are a lot of people that were under your charge that were tagging along as NPCs. I'm trying to give them all personality for better or worse.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
This Clyde offshoot, I wasn't even sure you were going to get to it, but I'm glad we moved in this direction because I think it was worthwhile.
It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you got the XP and the gold for the night.
Once I'm gonna link you because I got my next feat. If Karagor, I'm gonna link you to one I would love to have, but I don't think that you're gonna allow, and the other one is my backup feat.
Okay.
It fits Karagor, but I think that it's gonna be a little bit broken.
Okay.
I do feel a little guilty for looting, though.
Well, you should and you shouldn't because.
Yeah, on one hand, he's kind of figuring the town's being abandoned. The Reeve just got stabbed. Fuck it.
Well, you're not even sure that the Reeve is all that nice of a guy.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about him. But also, we did just save his life, so.
And he's not going to have a chance to pack up his house, so.
Yep.
Everybody's getting the hell out of Dodge, so. All right. Well, good session, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I will probably post this session on my YouTube channel at some point. I'll let you know. But cool. I'm gonna
Yep.
place